Today we are going over one of the biggest areas that I see people struggle with, and honestly, it's probably one of the top reasons that you can't drop 20 kills or aren't dropping 20 kills as often as you like to, which is the regain process. You are absolutely killing your pace by not regaining quick enough. So today we're going to be going over 6 ways to easily regain and get that momentum back after dying, which is going to happen right here. Look, this is a 22 kill win in a 1.31 average KD lobby. I chose this game for a reason because it's a sweaty lobby where we still drop 20 kills and we die a few times throughout the game. Dying is inevitable. It's about how do we get back on track. Understand that the 6 strategies I give you today apply to both Rebirth and Fortune's Keep. Each of them can be used on any map that you are playing. The last thing I will say is if you are looking to get better at Rebirth, make sure you are subscribed down below. I'm a 4KD player and do videos every single day just trying to help you improve, drop more 20 kill games, maybe get to a 2KD. Whatever your goal is in this game mode, my goal is to help you get there. Now, we're going to go ahead and start off just by looting up. The first thing that I need you to understand here while we're rolling through early game is you have to let your ego go. We all have those situations, whether it's a team camping loadout, whether it's a guy with a rocket in a corner, where we get extremely frustrated. And what ends up happening is you lose full, you make dumb decisions, you play over aggressive, mistakes start happening, it kind of snowballs, and now you're just extremely frustrated at everything. Whereas that's preventable if you just let your ego go a little bit and stop full sending loadout every single time you die on it, thinking that the team camping it is going to leave. Newsflash, they're not going to leave if they are camping loadout, which kind of leads me to the first way to regain. Let's get the obvious one out of the way here, which is loadout. Fighting with loadout guns is the most important thing. Thankfully, I have the personal supply box, whatever it's called, where I get my loadout guns. I don't have lethals, tacticals, I don't have my perks, but at least have my guns, which is crucial to success when it comes to kind of the TTK and comfort feel of guns. So we've got that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to challenge around these corners, trying to see what we can find. And we actually do have enough for loadout right here, so we should start focusing on getting loadout. I'm going to drop it for TCAP. We challenge this guy right here. We're able to get that down in thirst. Now, once we get that loadout down, I always say one thing to keep in mind, and then we'll kind of move on to the next strategy, which is you have one opportunity to land on loadout. Once you basically get killed by somebody that is camping that, you can't just keep sending it over and over again. As I mentioned earlier, nothing is going to change. Now, we're going to end up going down right here in a second. I'm going to get caught by a guy to my left. He gets caught, and I get caught in a weird spot here. Right there, I thought these guys were a little bit further back. I actually was completely thrown off. This is the first time that I'm actually seeing this arrow down below, because as I push in, I had no idea where this guy came from. Now, as I said, when it comes to regaining, I have one opportunity to land on this loadout, so I'm going to go ahead and take that opportunity. What's going to end up happening is as I try to push through the window, I get caught in a weird spot. We're going to end up getting out of this situation. Now, also understand that loadout is gone. So even in a situation where loadout is still up there, I'm not just going to keep full sending that. It's just a death trap. So as I push up here, we're going to be able to make a play. We're going to get this down in thirst with the drop shot. And now I end up getting shot from there. I get shot from my left. I get shot from my right here in Winery or in the Vineyards. And there's a bunch of teams all around. So now what do we do? Okay, well, luckily enough, here comes the free loadout. Where are we at pace-wise? 4 kills, first circle, so we're just short of 20 bomb pace. Now, I can go land on this loadout right here, right? So I'm at least in an opportunity where I can go land on this loadout. Now, let me quickly address one thing. Say that say this loadout, I end up dying right here. I want to play out a scenario for you. Okay, so say I die on this loadout. What are my options? Well, technically, what I think my next play is to land somewhere in Winery and rotate over to that loadout. So that's something that not a lot of you think about. Just because I don't full send my loadout doesn't mean that I'm not thinking about getting that loadout. I absolutely want to hit this free loadout right here. The question is, how do I get it? So I could land, in this building right here. I can land in this one. I can land in the building back further this way. Grab a floor loot gun so that I can at least fight somebody that's around there. Keep in mind that when you tag somebody up, a lot of times they're going to run away a little bit scared and kind of unpeak for a second. That gives you a window to get that loadout. So really just keep that in mind. That's kind of two of the biggest things when it comes to actually getting your loadout guns. Now we're going to go ahead and, we're going to be able to grab this guy right here. So we get that down, we get that thirst. Now, this brings me up or brings me to strategy number 3, is to land where you died. So let's play out a scenario here where I die from this guy, right? This guy kills me. Now, all of a sudden, we still have free loadout available that I could grab, but I could also land on these loadout guns right here. Like I said, perks, lethals, tacticals, those things aren't as important. Yes, they are super valuable, but at the end of the day, your loadout guns are the most important thing. And I would even say loadout guns in general are the most important thing, which we'll talk about in a second. But right there, if that guy kills me, by the way, that's probably the worst player in that lobby right there. Like I said, 1.31 KD lobby, we're going to kill that guy over and over and over again. Sometimes in sweaty lobbies, it's just about finding those players. So, now we're talking about going back to my strategy number 3, which is, but let's pause for a second. I just want to talk about this. Now you can start to feel this shift happen, right? We're starting to be able to pick up a little bit of pace. We get the first kill. Now we get this guy. 1 kill is what I'm looking for in this regain process. It's going to give me plates. It's going to give me ammo. It's going to give me a little bit of confidence. We're able to down this next guy right here. And all of a sudden you can feel this shift start to happen. Based on that 1 kill, we start to get some pace back. We start to get that momentum back. We're going to be able to pick up another kill right here on the Violet Rose skin over to my right here in a second, right there. We're able to get that kill. So we get the down, we get the thirst, we get information, we get plates. I hit my throwing knife like I always do. I mean, hey, you just got to hit your throwing knives. So, strategy number 3, land where you die. Don't forget about that one, because you can always land back on your loadout guns, especially later. If this is a situation where they might still be there for a little bit of time, you just don't want to forget that. Now, number 4 is going to be to land where you killed somebody, which we're going to see here in a second, which is a really good example. Now, you got to be careful about landing where you killed somebody. Reason being is because there's a lot of times those teammates are still floating around. So you got to be really strategic. But right here is going to be a really good example. I'm able to tag this Rose skin. I'm going to end up pushing around here with the PPSH, and notice that there are 2 teams right here. By the way, why do I act on this information? As I get this down right here, you're going to see the shooting. You see the shooting over to the left. Obviously, I hear that shooting and I see it on the mini-map. So I'm going to go ahead and push over here, try to third-party this, get into this action. Pace-wise, 7 kills. We're in second circle, so we're still a little bit far off from that 12 kill mark that I want to get to drop 20 kills. So we're going to go ahead and push around the right side here. We got to be careful. We don't want to get caught in a crossfire situation because we're overextending on a third-party scenario. Now we're going to go ahead and push up. So all of a sudden right here, you've got this Rose skin. You've got this guy that's straight ahead of me right here that died. You've got this one over here. So if I go down at any point in time, this is probably one of the best places to land. You got to be strategic. I'm not just going to full send this assuming that nobody's here, but go back to my point number 1. My point number 1 was that the most important thing is loadout. So those players might now go and try to land on their loadout. And now if I die, I can take their, I can take their loadout guns. I can take their loot that may or may not still be there. So these aren't necessarily like a pecking order of strategies. These are all things that you just have to keep in mind. Okay, can I get loadout? No. Can I land close, or is it smart to land close and rotate? Probably not. There's 2 teams around my free loadout. Okay, can I land where I died? No, there's still teams floating around there. Okay, where did I kill somebody? Oh, I killed somebody back there. Let me go ahead and see if I can grab that stuff. I'm not seeing anybody as I'm floating above, so I'm gonna go ahead and land there, and now I'm kind of back regained a little bit more. Now, we're going to get this kill right here. Now, number 5 is kind of similar to number 2, which is the land close and rotate. I want to just emphasize this again, which, at the end of the day, you can also do the same thing. You can land close to where you died and rotate over to your guns. You can land close to where you killed somebody and rotate over to your guns. You can use that to your advantage. Not everything is a full send scenario. So where I say drop the ego a lot of times is because so many of you just full send loadout, you full send where you died, and then that team's still just sitting there and you're like, whoa, they're just camping on it. It's like, well, no duh, they're just gonna camp on it. Whoop-de-dee-doo. It's part of the game. It's part of what players are gonna do, especially players that are still improving or maybe just aren't as good. That's what they're going to do. So stop playing into their game, right? Instead, you know exactly where they are or around where they are. Land somewhere close by, grab a floor loot gun or grab a gun of somebody you killed and rotate over to those. Now, right here, we're kind of in a groove again. Look at our cash flow, 16 grand. We've got information up. We're going to go ahead and third party that guy. We're going to go ahead real quick, reload, and then we're going to play this stim play here. This is where we start thinking about advanced plays. We're going to use the stim for the speed boost, and we still got to talk about number 6, which we'll talk about here in a second, and we're going to see TCAP going through this. You know, there is a certain level of TCAP and I playing separately that really plays into my advantage here because he's, oh, he already did it. I didn't even realize. He completed a scavenger contract and got loadout down. So number 6 is going to be the full regain. Definitely do a contract. Generally, a supply run contract will really help you out. A scavenger contract can be quick to can be a quick way to get cash, especially if you have all 4 people that are flying back in or all 4 players that are trying to get loadout. You know, a scav can be super quick. Watch me put, this guy's gonna quit. Bye, back to the lobby you go. He got tired of dying over and over and over again. And that's a situation where like he just full sends this and like, come on, dude. Like, I don't know what you're trying to do here. This is a classic TikTok guy. Or TTV, you know, trying to do too much. It's like, if he just shot me, he probably would have had the advantage. You know, number 6 is going to be that full regain. And pace-wise, we're still just short. So I got to pick up 2 kills in the next 21 seconds to be back on that 20-kill pace that I'm looking for, knowing that Fortune's Keep tends to last a little bit longer. So the other thing to keep in mind is use supply box UAVs to your advantage. I don't know if we have one. No, that's a precision. We have those supply box UAVs where you can then find your loadout guns. So use those to your advantage because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm less concerned about lethals and tacticals. I can pick up lethals and tacticals. Yeah, I love to use throwing knives, but if I have a frag grenade, if I have a Semtex, like those are still viable. I love stims. I think stims are the best. If I have a heartbeat or a flash grenade or a stun grenade, you know, I can still use those. I'm less, there's lootable perks on the ground. I'm more concerned about fighting with my loadout guns than anything else. And fighting with loadout guns in general. It's part of the nice thing about having a super close meta. For the most part, a lot of the guns on the ground are going to be viable options. So right here, we're just barely, once again, short of this 20 bomb pace. So we got to go ahead and figure out how we're going to get back on it. And notice the regain process, right? We haven't seen a ton. You know, we died a lot early. We're going to die here again in a little bit. But at the end of the day, I wanted to kind of talk you through each scenario. And, you know, like I said, I tried to go with the best game possible, which happened to be this one, Sweaty Lobby. We're going to go ahead and challenge this ghosted player down below right here. We're going to tag and use Combat Scout. Now, this is where perks are a huge advantage. By the way, if you did make it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. That helps the video get pushed out a ton. 17 kills. We're close right here. We still got, you know, 6 other people still alive. So I'm going to get 3 of the last 6 kills, assuming that nobody buys back. Now I'm going to go ahead and play down low right here, but we're going to get caught in a little bit of a weird spot. So I'm going to end up pushing up here in a second. We get one right there. We get high alerted. I think we actually grabbed that lootable perk. I don't know. I definitely didn't go high alert. So that was a lootable perk that I grabbed at some point right there, which I am going to be doing a video on at some point. You know, those are a huge advantage. Lootable perks are a huge advantage. If you find the personal supply boxes, being able to grab a second perk. Oh, high alert to the rescue right there. Now we get the super UAV. We basically get to know where everybody is. So we're going to go ahead and plate up and start to focus on. By the way, notice people bought back right here. So all of a sudden we went from only 6 people left to now that there are 7 people left after we get a few kills, and now we're in a really good spot. We're going to go ahead, play gas mask, and by the way, I'm going to commit to the gas mask right here. Little bonus tip if you've made it this far. This is what I always say. A lot of you may end up trying to like push into zone and then challenging these. No, I'm just going to commit to the gas mask. We're going to shoot that guy first. We're going to shoot that guy second. That's an easy team wipe right there. There's the 20 kill win, or 20 kills so far. There's the 20 bomb. Now we got to figure out how we're going to win this. Another little bonus tip here for you. When you get into these areas of the map, you know, where there is water, be very, very careful. Your mobility is awful with it. You notice I can't slide cancel. I can't really tack sprint. I'm very slow. I can tack sprint a little bit, but I'm kind of caught out in the open right here. And I get caught in a really bad spot. We get high alerted. I get team shotted by the whole entire team. Now I immediately bleed out. By the way, look at our cash flow right here. When we talk about cash flow, like that is so crucial. By the way, I want to highlight this for you. So I died with $32,000, okay? Look how much money I come back with. I lost 15 grand right there. So if you, or 16 grand. So if you have, you know, what's the magic number? Probably $15,000, I think, if I'm doing my math right. So, right, I lost 50%. So $7,500 for a loadout. times 2 gives you your 100%. If you die with $15,000, you can come back in and immediately buy a loadout. So just keep that in mind when it comes to cash flow. We always talk about the importance of cash flow, and there you really see it. TCAP immediately buys a loadout for me, so we're going to go ahead and get loadout down. Thankfully, I didn't die. I thought there might be a chance. We're going to go ahead and grab our loadout. We're going to grab plates. We're going to grab a UAV. We're going to grab a gas mask. We're going to pop. And now we just got to clutch up. One guy rotated early. We're going to be able to catch this guy off the zip right here, right after he pulls. Let that guy. Another bonus tip if you stay this far. Let him pull, and then you fry. Let him pull. You get the down right there. Last guy's right there. There's a 22 kill win. So use those strategies to your advantage to start to get more kills. Make sure that you are regaining, getting that momentum back after you die. Get back on that 20 bomb pace and go drop more 20 bombs. I hope you found today's video helpful. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.